Recently, I've been playing Sonic Adventure DX on Steam, expect a review of that game soon, and so far, I've been really enjoying it. While I've only beaten Sonic stages, it's gotten me thinking back to when I would play Sonic Heroes, the Sonic Mega Collection, those times at a video game convention where I got to briefly experience SA1 and SA2 for the first time. Heck, this game even has me thinking back to the time I willingly bought and played Sonic 06, and found myself completely unaffected by all the atrocious things in that unfinished mess of a game. Little fun fact actually, I had gotten 06 at a retro game store along with LA Noire, both for the 360, and LA Noire was cheaper. Anyways, back to the point I was trying to make. But you know what games I haven't been thinking about while playing Sonic Adventure 1? The more modern Sonic games I've played and seen. The ones after 06. Games like Secret Rings, Colors, Unleashed, Lost World, Forces, heck, not even Sonic Generations is crossing my mind as I play Sonic Adventure 1. But why? Why is that? A lot of the games I just listed have a lot of good qualities in them. The sense of speed, the visuals, the level design. SA1 has these qualities too. Okay, maybe not the visuals, but let's ignore that. Please. So again, I'll ask the question, why isn't the first true mainline 3D Sonic game not taking me back to the times I played Secret Rings or Colors in my youth, when instead it takes me back to the times I played Heroes and 06, times that were much later in my life? Why? Well, I think I have the answer. Before I give said answer, let's talk a bit more about 06. Sure. I'll talk about it later as well, but for now, I'll speak on the insanely negative impact it left on the Sonic franchise. So, 06 was bad. Really bad. Just so completely, utterly, insultingly, laughably, astronomically bad for a multitude of reasons. It's as unfinished as a bad dish on MasterChef. It plays and runs like a dude who's missing a foot trying to run a marathon over broken glass, a la John McClane in Die Hard, and the story is so needlessly convoluted with elements of time travel, multiple dumps of exposition. The fact that you have to start with Sonic means that the events are played out of order. It makes the FNAF timeline look coherent and easy to understand in comparison. It's a real travesty. This whole game is a total failure. Oh, and also, there's a human kissing roadkill in it. Who asked for that? All of these elements added up to, at best, honestly, a laughable excuse for a game that wouldn't pass in any console generation. And that was really the overall message and response Sonic Team got from the many people that played it. And the results that transpired because of this game were, they were a bit interesting, so to speak, because at the canonical age of 15 years old, Sonic the Hedgehog had a complete midlife and identity crisis that lasted for years. With each new installment doing a complete 180 with a new gameplay style, the franchise quickly became unpredictable and not in a good way. Sonic went to an on-rails runner, to a part high-speed platformer, part beat-em-up, back to an on-rails runner, but now it's also a hack and slash, to finally settling down into a nice, consistent, and fun formula with Colors and Generations. And then they changed it again when they made Sonic Lost World. No consistency, no coherency, the multi-story age of Sonic the Hedgehog was completely dead and buried, all because Sonic wanted to taste the forbidden fruit and fall in love with a human girl. Now, we could go back and forth all day about whether or not moving away from the multi-story style of the mainline Sonic games was good or bad. On one hand, it allowed for multiple ways to view the same story, and that's quite interesting, to see the events unfold through the eyes of the hardened hero, the plucky underdog, or even the fat tub of lard that just wants his frog back for God's sakes, allows for the story to have a lot more depth thanks to these extra points of view. On the other hand, playing the same or slightly altered stages over and over again can get annoying, as you've just simply visited and seen all that these locations have to offer before, but that's not the change I'm necessarily wanting to bring back. It's time for that answer I've been building towards, the thing that absolutely needs to come back without a doubt, the thing that would certainly set the gaming world ablaze, haha, get it, blaze, if it were to make a comeback once more. Multiple playable characters, a feature that, excluding 2D games like Mania, excluding spin-off games like Boom and Team Sonic Racing, excluding times where the characters are either too similar to Sonic or play exactly like Sonic, and excluding Sonic and the Black Knight where it's only after halfway through the game, we have not seen this feature in a 3D mainline Sonic game since Sonic 06. So let's look back on the multiple playable characters we got. First we got Sonic, needed that, good start. Then we got Tails and Sonic 2, great addition, makes the game 2-player for the 5 seconds both characters are on screen. Then we go to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where we get to play as all 3 characters, and they all have their own abilities, and they're all fun to play as, and it sent every player the message as to how the games will be structured. And we loved it, because it was done well, and Sega delivered almost every time they had multiple playable characters. Then we jump ahead to 98, Sonic Adventure that has a whopping 6 characters that not only play differently, but also have different play styles. Sonic is classic 3D platforming, Tails is racing Sonic or Eggman, Knuckles is hunting emerald shards, Amy is fleeing from Zero, Gamma is about keeping your time going by shooting enemies, and Big is fishing. Look, they can't all be winners, okay? But this was still an overall net positive, as I would argue 5 out of the 6 characters delivered with good gameplay and fun to be had. Guess which character is the outlier? That's right, Sonic. SA2 comes along, they cut the types of gameplay in half, the emerald hunting stages take a hit in quality, Tails is in a mech now for some reason, but I would still argue there's some fun to be had with those stages due to the pure destruction factor of Tails and Eggman stages, and the emerald hunting stages still give that feeling of reward and exploration, even if it is hampered due to the butchered radar system. Sonic Heroes comes next with a whopping 12 characters, and it's pretty decent. You got the speed, power, and flight characters all teaming up to get to the end of each level, those levels being pretty fun. Controls could use some work, 7 out of 10, a pretty bang up job. Even with Shadow the Hedgehog only having Shadow as the playable character aside from the partners that player 2 can control, he's still different from Sonic. His gameplay is different from Sonic. We got to use guns. This ain't your mama's Sonic game, it's violent and racist. And then Sonic 06. Once again, we are met with a plethora of different characters, each with their own abilities, except now, it completely sucks. They ruined it. They just completely ruined the fun of having multiple playable characters in a Sonic game. More than half of them aren't fun to play as. Characters that were fast despite not being Sonic in previous games, like Tails and Knuckles, are now slow as dirt. Shadow stages are now littered with enemies in a feeble attempt to emphasize his more combat-oriented playstyle, but it falls completely on its face because it just consists of you mashing the attack button over and over again. And then you have the newcomer in Silver, who is extremely slow, and his playstyle is debatably more combat-oriented because of how much his psychokinesis is purely used to pick up things you can hurl at enemies. Without a doubt, this game handled these characters terribly, and because of it, the Sonic series has never been the same. The worst part is, it's their fault. The blame falls completely on Sega. They made decisions that anyone with half a brain could see would be bad. You don't make characters slow in a Sonic game. You don't make a character have a combat-oriented playstyle, but then make all the enemies die to just mashing the same button. This is not difficult to figure out. Then the game comes out, everyone rightfully criticizes these bad choices, and Sega interprets this as, oh shoot, I guess they don't like playing as multiple characters, okay, we'll never do that again. But we do, we like playing as multiple characters when the gameplay that complements them is fun and engaging, which this game isn't. It has nothing to do with us not wanting to play as the characters, it has everything to do with the fact that you made playing as these characters awful, which they weren't like to play as before. They were fun, they were interesting. I wanted to play as Tails, I wanted to play as Knuckles, but then you made them horrible to play and control. It's a no-brainer. That's my biggest problem with 06. It killed what many fans of Sonic loved. Here's why they need to bring back the ability to play as multiple characters. This far into the video, and I'm only just now giving reasons as to why. Because it gives a better purpose for these characters. It makes these characters feel more important. It gave these loved characters the attention they deserved. Gameplay-wise, it allowed for more creativity when it came to the level design because the levels could be tackled in a variety of different ways. Take Sonic Adventure 1 for example. In a level that Sonic and Knuckles could share, a portion of the level that could just be easily ran through by Sonic turns into this giant open area to explore with Knuckles. Or look at Sonic Heroes. You could either barrel through some enemies with Vector, turn invisible and run past them with Espio, or just fly over them with Charmy. There was variety because of the multiple playable characters. With these characters no longer playable, it de-emphasizes their role in the games. Take Colors for example. Tails is really just there. You could take out Tails and the game would be no different, because Tails doesn't do anything in game besides from just being the cutscenes. It's pretty lame. Same goes for Sonic Lost World. Tails, Knuckles, and Amy all appear, but with none of them playable, their purpose in the story is extremely devalued, making you wonder why they're there in the first place. Forces has got to be the best, or in this case, worst example of this though. Yes, you can customize your own character, and that's cool, and Classic Sonic is there too, I guess, but there's still so many beloved characters that just aren't being utilized. It's one of those Sonic games that has all the major characters in it, like Generations, and they all just kind of exist. Even with them all being a part of the Resistance, they just feel like they were forced to be put there so the developers could fill some kind of quota. You know, have Sonic characters in there. Okay, check, done. Another reason is the fact that it's just been so long since we got to play as some of these characters in a 3D environment. You just kind of miss it, you know? These characters felt really important when they had a playable role, but now it's just the Sonic show, really. Sure, we got Classic Sonic for Generations and Forces, but it's just Sonic. And yeah, we got Episode Shadow in Forces, but he plays exactly the same as Sonic, and it's only for 3 stages. Also, so many of these characters really weren't given justice in their final playable outing because their last time playable was in 06. They really could use another chance to show players that they are in fact fun to play as in a game that isn't going to be rushed for Christmas. The Sonic franchise wasn't always just Sonic. It was Sonic and Friends. You played Sonic games not just for Sonic, but for Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, because these characters were well liked and well utilized in the games they were in, which made us love them even more. I like playing as Tails in Sonic Adventure 1. I like playing as Knuckles in Sonic Heroes. I even like playing as Omega in Sonic 06 because I liked these characters. But with the way the series is structured now, with it being Sonic, no one else allowed, they all just become pointless cameos that only exist to remind you that these characters are still around. If Sonic Team came out with a game that lets us play as these characters again, people would get excited. Guaranteed, because they miss playing as these characters. They wouldn't have to try to come up with different kinds of levels either. Just give them their abilities and have all their levels be getting to the goal ring. It would rock! Until that day hopefully comes though, I will be looking at new Sonic games with the same reaction. Sure, it looks cool, probably will play decently enough, but you can't play as other characters, and that's a problem. And it is a problem Sega seems to have forgotten, which is another problem. But I think I've made my points clear. So, with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, and I'll see you next time.